I'm gonna make another boring video for you, but let's talk about some comments I'm getting on a channel and some requests. I don't get many comments, but usually people say thank you for posting, and that's really great. But here we have Joy said, I use Poker Bankroll Tracker. When I saw that, immediately it was familiar, and I said, which one is it? Also, here we have JZ. He said, Poker Bankroll Tracker, definitely. Tracks tips or whatever. Okay, I missed that. Also, he said, and it exports, which was my big thing in the video, talking how important it is to have backup and export for your data when you're tracking your live games using poker apps on your phone. Then he goes like, how did you miss that? Well, Jay, my boy, I'm all fat guy. Cannot hold everything in my head. Also, he continues, I like your videos, but your misinformation makes me wonder about any info you present. So now he's questioning the information I present. Well, Jay-Z, my boy, let me tell you something. This channel is just, and I don't mind your comment at all, but this channel is just my diary. I usually blab about my traveling and poker games I've run into it. I am not somebody who analyzes the game. I leave that to Doug Polk and other smarter, better poker players. This video, where I posted a couple apps that I'm familiar with, I didn't do comparison to all of them, so I didn't miss really anything. I told you that I have a couple that I am using, and just show to people, wanted to stress how important is it to track your results in the long run. You really have to know where you are you winning, losing, why, at what locations, how much, and stuff. So I went and Googled in the App Store Poker Bankroll Tracker and found it installed on my phone. And here you can see I have it right now. But as you can see, there are other like Poker Base with this spade, purple spade sign logo. I evaluated that one, and that's what I said. I found stuff that I'm not satisfied with. This one, I'm not gonna even talk much here. Nice views, one graph, poker income tracker I'm using had more, and that was my point. You know, I'm used to poker income tracker. Now let me tell you this, poker income tracker is old app, over 10 years old, more than 10 years, and probably I think maybe 12 years old, and a developer abandoned it. He doesn't do updates anymore, doesn't respond to comments. But I'm so used to it that I still keep using it. Even right now, it may even become a problem with some bugs that we don't know about. With any change of Android system, if the developer doesn't align the app with the changes, there may be bugs immediately, because operating system on your phone works differently. So this one, I just installed and I didn't want to use it, but it's interesting, and it shows, look at this. So it shows general info about your sessions, gives you the graph and report, you can add new hand, new stuff, but here a toolbox here on the app. Look at this, it has so many things. Calculator, EV calculator, you can enter hands, poker odds, deal calculator. When you are playing a tournament poker, you can make deals based on ICM or chip percentages and stuff like that. So you can have it, you have that here. hand ranges. You can enter ranges and then calculate again percentages and stuff. Equity versus hand, equity versus range. So this has other tools. So this one I even has a good stuff I'm not using because I want my tracker to just track my bankroll. I can have other apps that I can use for like Hold'em Lab here. The Hold'em Lab is used to calculate equity, hands and stuff like that. Similar is Poker Bankroll Tracker. I downloaded it, installed it, and I immediately when I saw this logo, I remember that I know this app. Probably 2 years ago I tested it and I had problem with it. This one has good support still. Newer app, many features, tracks expenses, you can export, and Jay-Z was right with his comment. This is really good app, but in my view, it's a little bit complicated. It's too much. Again, now what do we have here? So let's see. It's showing the graph like a 3-month trend. They decided 3-month trend. I entered only 3 games to test it to see what do I get. This is kind of reports you're gonna get. Sections that you have here, bankroll. So it shows you this actually your stats. It's more like report, but it's called bankroll, which means the status of your live sessions. This is where you start a new session. So you're playing cash game. It's full ring or what it can be, heads up. So it's full ring, full table. Let's say it's 1-3 Texas Hold'em, buying 300 US dollars at the buy casino. Maybe I have different location. Hustler. Let's do one in Hustler. And it says here, who can see this session? This is something that's kind of nice here, but again, overkill and maybe too much. Developers have live server. Your app is connected when you're on internet to that server, and you can report to your friends. They can watch live on the website your current stack size and the graph, how you progress in the game. They cannot see the game, but they will see like the graph. If you are up 300, 500, down 200, so the whole game, but you have constantly to keep updating. So how you do that? Well, let's start this game. You do go, and here you see the word graph. So we are in for $300. Now you would update your bankroll to, let's say, if you win a hand. So you won one hand. You say like you won $170. Now you have $470. So you will put that. You say update, and this is what your friends can see on the website while you're playing. Well, then let's do more. Update again. So now you lost a hand. You lost maybe $50. Now you have only 420. So you have to keep updating your stack all the time. Then you win a big pot like 300. Now you have $744. Update that. So your friends would see that graph and those numbers. If you're in some big game, maybe it's interesting, you know. Now, while the game is there, here's you click down on more options and you can see all this. So let's say now you have a rebuy, so you lose a pot. Let's lose one big pot, like you lose 600. You go down only $230. Update. So you lost big pot. You need a rebuy, so you would enter here at a rebuy. I don't know, it says number of rebuys. 1. How many rebuys I can do at once? I don't know what that means, but amount. So I buy another like 250. And there should be some update. And that didn't update the chip count. I added 250 to 130. I was expecting I'm gonna see 380, and that is why I didn't switched to this when I looked at it 2 years ago on my LG phone that I had before this one. This is not clear to me what the update means. So let's see now, what's my current buying? Here it says 300, buying 250, but that doesn't reflect it automatically. So now looks like I have manually to say, oh, that's actually 280, which I found ridiculous. If I add 250, it should add that immediately to the total. Actually, it's 350. There's nothing else. There's no save button, so it's update. So now that reflects the graph. So this graph, I think it's actually really annoying, and that is why I quit. It was I didn't want to use it. It was too much for me monkeying around. I understand that maybe the developer is a poker player and he thought that this is cool, but you shouldn't be sitting at the poker table and constantly updating and clicking on your phone. You have to pay attention to the game, not to this, to report to your buddies online. It's a cool feature, but it's really useless. Now, let's see another thing. So, right now I have $380, but somehow cash out amount is populated. Well, I didn't cash out yet. Game should be on, so I don't understand how that happened. I didn't click that, so I don't understand it, like I said, and that's why I didn't use it. If I cash out right now, it would be 380, because when you update, that's your last chip count. But there's a next hand. I had to pay $2. I had to pay $3 big blind. Do I have now to subtract that? And I say now I have now 377. That is why I'm telling you, this is overkill, this option. Regarding expenses, on this line you can see it says expenses, and another says expenses paid from stack. So what does that mean now? Where are these expenses and expenses paid from stack? So for example, if I give tips, that's from the stack. So let's say I gave tips $15. So let's finish the game. So we played enough and I won some hands. I stopped reporting to friends' graph because it's really ridiculous. There's a break. You can enter a break, and that would be number of minutes that you were off the table. Let's say you go for a dinner or something. Also, I just want to move this game. Look at this clock. So I'm just going to move this for 1 hour back, that like we started at 5 something, so that the game lasted a little longer. So now, after playing, let's say you have $500 even. And remember, we were in the game for 300, and then we have rebuy 550. So let's make it 600 even. You have 600 even. That means that you won in this session $50. Press the button finish, end session. It's asking you for a dollar amount, so like I 600. So this session gave us profit $50. Finish. And it's showing 50. Well, watch this now. I had a dinner and I paid with my chips $10 while I was playing, and I forgot I didn't enter that in expenses. So where do I go here? Sessions. There's this session hustler. So I want to edit the session. So here we go. So expenses paid from stack. So $15 was tips, but I also gave $10. I gave $10 for the hamburger I ordered. So, and I forgot that. Now I'm gonna change it to 25. 15 plus 10, 25. Okay? Save. Session is still showing 50, which is correct. That is what I wanted to prove. I had a problem with that feature, adding expenses from the stack in one of these sessions here. I think in this one. So in this session I had like buying 300, cash out 750, and that should be profit 450. Well, it's showing 438. Why? because of these expenses here, you see $12. It's not expenses from stacks, from your chip stack. It's from this $12, and I don't know how to even think about it. That's part of your bankroll. So if you took money from the bankroll from before the game, let's say you pay for Uber ride $12 to casino, is that part of that session? So you have to decide carefully, are you using this expense column or you're using only this one? Because this one will not subtract from your chip stack. So even we can correct this now. Let's say you had Uber ride $12 and going back home $13. That was $25. So if you correct that now, $25, and like I said, we were in a game for 300, 750 we cashed out. It should be 450 profit with $25 expense save. See, it's showing 425. It's subtracted that 25 from 450, and I have a problem with that. It is correct. It's tracking your expenses. Let's say your hotel, but it's tied to this session. I don't know how to think about that. Maybe it's fine. So if you get used to it and you understand it, but you have to play, like making examples like this, like I did, play with it to decide, do you like those features or not? This app is really loaded with options, and there's some stuff that I like and I'm going to start using. Maybe I'm going to even switch to this app. Now let's go to the account and backup. This is the thing that I was talking about, that is the most important for me. So once you register, then you verify the email, so that's all right. So here's the backup tab. You see, you can back up local, so you can back up, let's say, app is on your phone, but you can back up on an SD card that you have there. Restore local from that local backup. Backup to server, you click that, it automatically tells you backup successfully saved. It's saved on their website, and I'm going to show you their website, which is here. You cannot access that data through the website, you can access it only through the app. Restore from server, normally if you change the phone, like you lose the phone, you buy a new one, or it's dead or something got corrupted, you restore based on the backup. So you should do backup every time, just 2 clicks. Backup to CSV. So CSV, that is what I like, and you can email it to yourself. You can restore from that. Also, you can users like I am of Poker Income, you can copy data, paste in here, and start your app with your existing data from Poker Income. Casinos, United States, choose a city here. Oh my, big list, all cities listed here, even Lake Elsinore. Let's find Las Vegas, casinos. Bang, shows you tournaments, all tournaments in Las Vegas by date. Well, it doesn't know for coronavirus and that those games not gonna happen, but it's based on a schedule that tournament submitted, which is really good option. So in this app, you see immediately all tournaments. You can go and choose to play the tournament. Player notes and stats. You can keep on players' notes. So this app has everything related to your game. It's really good. Stats tracker. This is what I don't know how it works, but there are several options, and all those options, there's a manual. So you should read the manual. When I used it for the first time 2 years ago, I didn't use the manual. So that was the problem. That's why I didn't like it, because it was confusing. But you have to read the manual. Manual is online and you find it on a website. You can just click there, and here, everything listed. How do you do whatever you do? It clears those problems that I had just because I was stubborn, didn't read the manual. option, hand replayer. You can add new hands, reset this, so you can enter hands, blinds and action and review them. They are they're saved on the server, and here's the hand that I entered, and this hand is from 2 videos ago from the bike adventure when I played at the bike. So there was a comment on my bike video. Let's check that one out. So somebody didn't like the way how I play this hand. Mostly it says very good job, nice video and so fantastic. So thank you guys for positive comments. But here Babar said, you called off with ace queen on ace king 10-10 board. Do you know you are drawing dead? You are terrible. Meaning me, Mr. Vegas is terrible. Let me show you. And we're gonna use this app and recorded hand. I used that hand from this video. It's a hand where I played against a new player at the table, female. And in that hand, I raised $15, she raised me 30. I called, don't know why, I was doing good, why not? Flop came, and she went all in. On the board, ace, king, 10-10. I decided to call. Why? Well, I'm wondering also, but let's try to explain that. So, in this app, you can enter your hands and record them. Also, it will give you replay version that you can post on the website and send a link to your friends or post into some blogs, on a Facebook, show how you play awful. So here's the replayer, replaying that hand. So pre-flop, I raised 15, the new player raised 30. So min raise, everybody folded, and I was thinking, because it's her first hand, what to do, I called. I checked the flop, she checked, and that's when she trapped me. So on a turn I bet 30, she bet 170, which is all in. She was in for 200 and she went all in, which was another 140. What do you do here? Do you call that or fold? Why do you fold? Just because it's the female that re-raised you pre-flop? 3-betting in this game usually represents really big hand. Well, how big is it? And that is where this app can help you. So let's see how that works. Okay, so to analyze this hand, we're gonna use option in this app. You can use any other app, but here we have a calculator. Let's see if we calculate versus any 2 cards. I'm 80, any 2 cards, random. I'm 87%, but we know that people don't re-raise, don't 3-bet with any 2 cards. It's just specific cards. So let's see what can we, don't want to put cards, don't want to assign cards to her, but a range. And that is the beauty of this app. So you can think, let's say 10% hands, what that gives us. Here, 10% range. It looks maybe a little bit too wide for somebody under the gun, plus 2. This looks more like what we are dealing with. Any pair and Broadway hands. I am not gonna use ace-jack suited. King 10 doesn't apply here. We can remove king-jack also. King-queen, I don't think so. So queen 10, queen jack. So this we are narrowing to really top hands, just 8s or better, and Broadway hands. That's only 3% range. That's 41 combos, and this app is beautiful. This is beautiful to see what you're dealing with. Calculate now the percentage. So versus 3%, which is really tight, narrow range, suitable for re-raise. I would re-raise even with wider, maybe 8 to 10% hands that I started with here. I re-raise with that. 3% is really narrow range. So what do you want me to put her on? Aces, king or ace king and fold? That's 3 hands. That's not even 3%. That's 3 hands. So in this case, she has 41% with any 2 cards from that 3% range. I still have 60%. Well, let's pick a turn card. It was another 10. Recalculate with that 3% range. I'm still favorite. So if it is top 3 hands, that's the only thing that beats me. In 3%, super tight, neat range. So why do you think that I'm that bad? Why do you think that I'm terrible? Babar, buddy. Why do you think I am terrible? She goes all in. Well, now you put her on those 3 hands. I still can beat it with a lucky jack on a river. Another ace. I'm losing 2 pocket aces. Pocket kings. So this is 2% range. You 3-bet with that, I hope. That's where I'm losing right now, with 2% range. In the game when my opponent has 200, I'm not folding. Is it waste of money? Well, it's my money. So babar, buddy. You didn't tell me why am I that terrible. You just didn't like the fact that I lost. And you think I called like a donkey. But why? Because a female player re-raised me pre-flop? I knew I'm losing. I knew. But I was doing so good in that session. Everything was smooth. And I was confident. I can win this. I really didn't care. I can win that. I didn't have pot odds, money odds, none. So, connecting comments from a couple videos using this app help us analyze it. And I hope that this was not that long and a little bit entertaining video for you. So I'm gonna close it for now and see you hopefully at the other side of Corona times. Adios.